What's up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here with part 6 of the ultimate 100% guide for Black Myth Wukong. In this guide, we're going to be pretty much starting the beginning of chapter 3 and getting through the Pagoda realm, which in my opinion can be one of the most difficult areas to navigate. But it only gets more labyrinthian as you progress on in chapter 3. Chapter 3, as I mentioned in the previous episode, is an incredibly massive chapter with tons of content. So we'll be breaking it up into, little, I'd say much more easy to digest pieces so that you guys can follow along nice and easy. So we'll be getting through the Pagoda realm in today's episode, starting one of my favorite side quests that grants us a very unique weapon, and of course facing off with some incredible bosses. As I've stated in all the previous episodes, this guide will allow you to not only unlock all the portraits, fight every single boss, collect every single collectible, but it'll also lead you to the true secret ending. So, without further ado, let's get started. If you haven't already, and even if you did in the previous episode, you can definitely grab another Gentian. It takes like 15 to 30 minutes for harvestable ingredients to return, so only a little bit, and they will come right back. You can go in here and grab this Gentian as well. There's going to be tons of enemies in the snow and tons of ambushes, plant enemies, and I would say enemies that are deceptively... they use deceptive tactics, right? Like they're not going to just be out in the open coming out for you. They're going to ambush you more often than not. So frost will be something that we want to focus on. And as I mentioned earlier, the armor set that we can now craft, the ochre set, will give us some increased defense. So if you ever want to know if there's an ambush up ahead or if this is a real plant or not, you can always take a look. And as you can see, the snow has actually been disturbed around this. So that's already a telltale sign that this is going to be an ambush. So we can go ahead and get in our first few attacks, dodge the first little lunge there, and then just let him do his thing. Here he's going to have a huge AoE attack. This will poison you and slow you down considerably. So just wait until it dissipates. Then we can jump in and get a nice focus point in. Focus point attack, and there you go. So not too difficult, but again, we're looking for the Aged Ginseng drop, which of course is a unique soak. It's a soak that I still don't have on one of my other files. We'll be treated to this nice little cutscene here. And I did want to mention that these enemies, they're really easy to tell whether they're actual enemies or just, dead individuals. And the telltale sign, of course, is going to be if they're wielding a weapon, and 2, if you can lock onto them. So if you're ever unsure, just try to lock on, and if you can lock onto that person, then it's certainly a bad guy. This is the Macaque Chief, probably one of the most long-standing bosses that you're going to be facing off with through the chapters. He is incredibly annoying, and he's actually much more powerful than he seems. If you let him get on the offensive, you're going to have a bad day. So you want to keep him staggered as much as possible. But anyways, these enemies right here, you can actually farm these enemies, and they don't really have... That's a very unique attack you just will never ever see again. Once they die, though, they do like to swing around like crazy. So 2 swings, one last hurrah, and then that's it. They die. So pretty easy enemies. We're going to actually circle back around this way, where this little snowy path is here. And if remember, if the statue has a weapon, or if you can lock onto it, it's a bad guy, so you can go ahead and defeat them. But anyways, they do drop unique curios, so make sure to kill as many of them as possible until you get that unique curio. It's going to give you some increased defense that will very much be needed. But remember, chill defense is going to be incredibly important because most enemies are going to use frost, so just don't neglect it. You can grab this Gentian here. We got the Gentian seed. That's good. I always love getting the seeds. That's going to be wonderful for later on in this chapter. Chapter 3 is where we meet a very special NPC that has an interest in gardening. So we can absorb this will as well. And then we can go up this side. And now you're just going to see we're on the other side of where the first enemy ambushed us. Remember, if you... another thing you can do is, obviously he doesn't have a weapon, so he's fake. But you can just sprint through them as well. It's kind of fun. And you get some will along the way, so I love doing that. We got more aged ginseng, but no soak. We still don't have the soak yet. We'll get it, though. And remember that the ingredients do replenish or respawn every once in a while, so you can always get them back. There's an enemy right there. You can always tell because, of course, you can lock on, and he's got a weapon. So that's just a nice little tip. And he does 2 swings, and then he falls. This one's awake. That's good. Look at him. Early bird. But he gets the early bird special. And now we're going to be approaching the macaque fight. Now, one thing I do want to mention is in this fight, you will actually be surprised with an attack. So right out of the cutscene, the boss will have an introductory attack. So if you don't dodge to the right, you're going to get hit. You can dodge to the right or left, so you must dodge laterally. But immediately after the cutscene transitions into the actual, where you're controlling the destined one again, you're going to get hit right in the face. So don't let that happen. Anyways, we're going to do our best to take on the macaque chief. Right here. There you go. So now you're safe. Now we can go ahead and use immobilization. And then we're going to do a light attack combo. That'll stun him. Then we can do another light attack combo. Remember, you want to keep him busy at all costs. Do not let him get any type of offense like I just did. We stunned him again. That's not bad. Light attack combo. Just keep pressing. I missed a few attacks there. It's unfortunate. Another light attack combo. There you go. And you don't have to actually defeat him all the way because he will disappear. But had you let him attack and go crazy, you're going to have a hell of a time. So there he is taunting you. He's going to taunt us throughout this entire chapter. So don't let it register on the emotional level. Just beat him. The 3 or 4 encounters that we're going to be fighting him, and just move on. So head up these stairs here. And there's going to be a chest you can get off to the left. So we're going to circle around this way. These guys love to ambush us, and they do use frost-based attacks, so just be careful. As soon as you see them, take them out with a light attack combo. If for whatever reason they're dodging around or dashing around trying to attack you, just use your immobilization spell when they're near the ground, and then you can finish them off that way. But we're going to open up this coffin. Now we're looking good. Okay, so we're getting some more crafting materials for higher tier weapons. So they're going to be very useful. And because we didn't use too many of our spells and we still have some left, some mana left, we're going to go ahead and press forward. If for whatever reason you had to, you had a difficult fight with the macaque chief, you can always go back to the shrine and then come back here. But first things first, instead of going up these stairs, we're going to actually go straight and clear out this little small area first. There's going to be a bat enemy that tries to ambush us, so try and trigger him by coming up over here in this side. And if not, we can just go for the attack here. Go for the offensive. He's taking too long for me. He can just get the residual. You can get the residual hits then. That's perfectly fine. Alright, so now that we've defeated those enemies, we can run up here. And then we can absorb the will. So remember, if you ever need to top off, you can certainly do so. And we can absorb this will. It's going to replenish our gourds. And we'll be using that technique all throughout. Up here, there aren't going to be any items, but there's going to be a very similar designed like entrance, and it's going to have a chest for us a little bit later on. But now what we can do is we can head back up and around. We're going to go up the steps now, and as you reach the top of the steps, there's going to be an ambush, so just be very careful there. It's pretty hard to avoid, actually, even if you know it's coming, so watch. Yeah, see? He starts swinging like before you even get up the stairs, so he's fun. We're going to do a little focus point attack here. These enemies are actually pretty difficult in my opinion if you let them attack you, because their attacks are very circular and they just love kind of putting on those flashy little combos. So you can absorb this will as well. And I'm going to actually leave this enemy up here because I want you guys to remember it for later. So this guy right here, we're going to actually leave him because that's leading to a path that's going to take us out of this little area and let us progress to the Mirror Lake, which is the next big area. So this is just a small introductory area. We're going to want to take out all of these enemies here. There's a elite version of the patrolling guard here, and he is an absorbable spirit. We can use one of these pellets, why not? These are fun. I've had a lot of fun using these. Medicaments. Take out all these guys, avoid that if you can, and then now you can use any spells you have at your disposal. Try not to aggro the enemies to the left. They'll be waking up slowly though, but they're sleepy. Use our focus point combo, go in, stay aggressive. If you get in a tight spot, you can always use your transformation, so. There you go. Never let these guys live too long because they start showing all these little combos that you've never seen before. If you take them out quickly, you don't have to worry about them at all. So here we have another ginseng monster. You can tell because the snow's been disturbed. One dodge bag is enough to clear that distance. Wait for these little flails here. You can take them out. So we got Millennium Ginseng and some Age Ginseng as well. So not a bad haul there. You can top off your heals if you like. We're going to be approaching a safe zone anyways. We're pretty much done with the enemies, but we're going to go ahead and absorb this little buddy. And remember, every time we pick up Purple Lingshi, it's important because we can make more of these damaging medicaments. But we got the Mountain Patroller Spirit, and we can take a look at it right now. Look at the demo just to kind of get an idea of what it does for us. And so far, so good. So slightly increases critical hit chance of jump heavy attacks. Now, jump heavy attacks are pretty solid. They deal tons of damage. One of the highest damage dealing strikes in the game. Head over here to the left, and here's the chest that I was talking about. Some more ingredients: the blood of the Iron Bull and refined iron sand. Obviously, crafting materials. The blood is used for the cultivating of spirits, which makes the spirit skill stronger, and then the refined iron sand can be used for, I don't know if it's either weapons or armor, but you can certainly find out just by looking at it. I always forget. I believe it's armor. Alright, so we've defeated the enemy. There's no need to slide down here. There's absolutely nothing in this area, so I'll show it to you, of course, but I just drop down where the well-lit little platform is, and you see a chest, but don't rush to the chest because there's an enemy up ahead. These little bats love to ambush you, so. Usually they call out and then they run in and lunge at you, but I guess he didn't want to do it that time. He knew that I had seen him, so he's like, you know what? This guy's doing a 100% guy. Let's make him look bad. Alright, so we're going to go this way. Open up these jars. We can drop down and grab some of the Jade Lotus. Remember, every time we grab this now, it's just used for our ingredients. You could circle around here and just go right up on the bridge if you wanted to. But honestly, there is absolutely nothing in this area of note. You can just walk up on the bridge and cross it, and you can trigger the cutscene. But aside from getting this Fire Bellflower, there's absolutely nothing you can get. You can't proceed any further into that cave or anything like that, so you can't even jump on these this scaffolding or this platform here. It's like blocked off with an invisible wall, so there's nothing here. So instead what we do is we're just going to go the long way. I just want to show you guys, because honestly, whenever I'm playing, I like to make sure I explore every area, and if there was a guide showing me, oh no, just skip this, I'd feel kind of like I might have missed something. So anyways, oh, I was going to point something out too. So whenever you come back here, you're going to have a cutscene triggered. And this is technically the keeper of this chapter, but you don't ever see him again, to my recollection. You might see him one other time. So he's kind of a trash keeper. But he will take us to the Mirror Lake. Mirror Lake is where we're going to be facing off with a pretty difficult boss. It's a dragon boss, and the only reason why it's difficult is because she's hard to hit. But we'll go over that once we get there.
The keeper of the New West, welcome the destined one.
Why, thank you.
Now fly!
So he just transforms us into a bat, and then you don't even have to actually hold on to the controller or anything like that. I will show you guys something though that's pretty interesting. This game does feature sequences or areas that you cannot explore initially, and then if you return to them, you might be able to absorb a will and things of that nature. So that area that we were just in, although we couldn't actually explore it yet because this cutscene's triggered, we have to go back to it. So once we tag the or activate the shrine, we're gonna go back to one area, and then we're gonna that way you can just get it for the sake of completion and then be done. But it's just little things like that you'll notice. This chapter in particular has you backtracking probably the most of any chapter, and we'll do it each time so I can show you the secret shrines, the secret wills you can get, and even some chests. But this is gonna be part 1. So thank you, Mr. Keeper. That's probably the extent of what he does for the entire chapter.
Therein lies the thing you seek. The lord of this land is away. Seize it now and leave.
Alright. Once we regain control of the Destined One, we're going to head over to the shrine just right here, and then we're going to teleport back. But just so you know, this area is going to be pretty small. The smallest area before we get to the Pagoda Realm, and then the Pagoda Realm will be the brunt of what we explore today. So anyways, let's travel. We're in the New West, which is Chapter 3. So you can always know Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3 areas, New West, and then we're going to go to the Frost-clad Path. Now, unfortunately, this is a bit of a trek. And it's not really worth it, but in my opinion, if you're a completionist and you're trying to get 100% of all the items, then it's something that you should do. Alright, so now that we're here, we can run straight. We're going to just be running through all this, and this time we're going to go left up the stairs immediately. But we got to get to the stairs first, so we're going to get to the entrance of that temple. And you can take out these enemies. I suggest you do, because the more of these you kill, the higher the likelihood of you picking up that unique curio that's going to give us some resistance that's much needed for this particular area. There was a huge shadow behind me in real life, and I got scared. I was like, what the heck is that? I don't know where that just came from. That was scary. Anyway, so we're going to keep heading up this way. Going up these stairs. This is where we fought the Macaque Chief. And this is where we got ambushed by this little friend here. So they typically land and then they go in for a lunge. And again, they will announce themselves. But if you move forward and you continue without paying them mind, they will hit you. They love hitting you. And they can inflict frost over time, so you don't want to get frozen. Alright. Let's see if we can dodge this attack again. I usually just hug this side right here, and then I go for it. Okay. No, sir. No, sir. Not ready for this. Wait. Okay. Thank you. Those jumping heavy attacks are incredibly powerful, especially if you have a focus point. So remember, every time you use the triangle button, if you have a focus point, you're going to execute a heavy attack and expend that focus point. So just something to consider. Jumping heavy attacks are invaluable, and I learned that in my challenge run that I have mentioned several times on this series. So the challenge run was, of course, me not using any sparks and no leveling and no medicines. And I was stuck using only the smash stance in its most basic form. And it was, at first, it proved a little difficult, but over time you really start loving that stance. It's a solid stance, but more than anything, you also learn the importance of heavy and jumping attacks and utilizing focus points. Because you only have one focus point for the full run, so... Anyway, so we made all that trek for this. The double will. But anyways, it's not bad. Will is our currency, so never a bad thing to have some extra on hand. But that's that. And I've never been able to get in any of these other areas or anything like that, so there's just invisible barriers all throughout, so you really can't get up there. So just to show you guys, there's no way to get up here. But anyways, okay, so now we can actually warp back using the Incense Trail Talisman, and we're going to head over to the Mirror Lake. This is pretty interesting because on the shore of this frozen lake, there are a few things you can get, and this is a great farm for that curio. If for whatever reason you're having difficulty getting it, there's a pretty big concentration of those frozen enemy types. So we're gonna go to Mirror Lake, and if you want, this would be a great spot to farm these frozen soldier dudes. I don't even know what they are, but if you notice their feet, some have regular feet, and then others have hoofed feet. So it's pretty weird, and you'll see that highlighted even more in the next chapter. But anyways, so from here, I actually like to go to the right first because there's a little bit more you can grab. It's kind of more scenic. The other part's a little boring. So from here, we're gonna head down here, this pathway. There's gonna be a handful of enemies, lots of these guys all throughout. So it's always best to start a light attack combo from behind and then just get out of their way when they're dying, so when they flail, they don't harm you. So, but stick up here because there's gonna be some harvestable ingredients. Just kind of hug the right. And then we can grab the fire bellflower. Remember, every time you harvest a plant, you get a chance to potentially harvest the seeds as well. So, and we're going to keep hugging the right. You can grab this fire bellflower, and then if you see off in the distance, we've got a different plant that I think we haven't seen before, and it's a celestial pear. This is a rare class ingredient, and you can use it for medicines. All right. Love that sound. Go around this way. We've got this enemy over here. Thank you, sir. Alright. I do believe... I thought there was one more plant over here. Oh, that's right, it's over here. So now we've reached the end of the lake, right? You see that we're at the shore. Okay, nothing around there. Do not approach that yet. That's going to trigger the boss fight. So we're going to have to explore the rest of this area first. And come back and you can destroy the rest of these guys in hopes to get the curio. Dodge through. There'll be some more harvestable ingredients along the way as well. And then as you approach this... this little bell, I don't know, it's a statue. There's another praying enemy over here. There you go. He's taken out now. Now, there's a meditation spot we're going to actually trigger before the boss fight, or actually after we search the rest of this area. So what you can do now is kind of head back straight, and this is going to lead us to the shrine. So the shrine is actually just right over to the right. We can take these guys out just to get a little bit of extra. Just to increase our chances of getting that drop. And then now you have this little friend over here. You can circle around. So it's kind of funny because there's plant variations or plant monster variations for each of the different plant types, but there's not a gentian monster. There's purple mushroom monsters and different things like that, but you don't get a gentian monster. Always look at the snow so we know that we're going to get another aged ginseng monster right here. You can start swinging, lock on, back away once to dodge that initial lunge, and then dodge the flails. Remember, the only attack you really need to be mindful of is that AoE attack that can be pretty devastating. Alright, so then from here what I like to do is just attack everybody from the back. So here you can kind of work your way around and close in on them if you want. This is just a nice little, like, this right here is just like another statue. It's just kind of cool looking. I always thought this was something you can interact with, but it's not. So anyways, who has a weapon? Boom, this guy right here, right? So attack him from the back, completely eliminate his opportunity to be able to attack you. Circle around this guy, did the same thing. Remember, even their waking up animation is pretty slow, so they're not going to be able to really deal any damage to you, even if you hit them from the front. But I don't necessarily want to circle around the front because then you can aggro some of their little friends if they're too close by. So there's one in front of the chest as well. I want to take him out. But he's still figuring out that we're alive, so always kind of double back and look around. This guy's waking up. Light attack combo. And there you go. So we've cleared out just about everybody. You could finish up by taking out anybody from this distance, and then we're going to circle around. So there's actually nothing else over here, just so you know. Nothing of note anyways. There's just a plant that you can harvest. but there's not any chest or any treasure or anything like that. So that's the extent of it. And yes, although this is a waterfall, it's just a really tiny one. So no, it's not hiding any secret longs or anything like that. So now we can go back, we can open this coffin, loot the contents of this coffin here, and then we're going to meditate so we can gain some sparks. And remember, don't hold on to your sparks. You know, if you have, I'd say anywhere from 3 to 5, just go ahead and use them. I don't like just getting a single spark and then upgrading or allocating points because I don't feel the difference. But if you can have anywhere from 3 to 5, you're going to start saying, okay, now I opened up a bunch of new abilities. I got, you know, significantly increased health or stamina, and those are great things. So as we meditate here, I can kind of discuss the boss fight. So it's Kang Jing Long. It's a Yao Guai Queen, actually, so it's a pretty difficult boss, a powerful boss, and it's a dragon that uses thunder abilities. The hardest thing about this boss fight is not only the size of the arena, but the fact that Kang Jing Long can move so quickly that half the time the battle is just trying to get in some hits. So this is an extended fight, and honestly, if you can use immobilization at the right times, you can strike the head and then attack her while she's down. But aside from that, she is going to prove a bit annoying. Just because of her kind of, I guess, her ability to just stay away from you. So now we've done that. We didn't take any damage. No need to go and rest. But if you did, and if you need to, you know, re-up your mana, feel free to do so. This boss fight, just so that you know, after it is done, you will be taken from this area, involuntarily, of course, and we will need to return to the boss arena for a special item. Okay, so this is the second backtracking that we'll be doing. So anyways, let's approach the little temple here, and we'll trigger a cutscene. I wonder what that could be. We'll find out at the end of the chapter.
How delightful. It still recalls your scent. When that monkey was alive, he was all about weeping and begging for help. Now, even in death, he led all you younglings right to me. This sack of mine can barely fit you all. Kang Jing Long, now that you are ready, go and weigh up this one for your master.
And that is the boss we'll be facing off with. And she moves just as fast as she's moving in the cutscene. It's very quick. But the Destined one doesn't seem to mind. I'm going to take note of something on that little boy and what he was wearing, okay? You remember he was wearing a yellow robe, right? When we first saw him, he was wearing like a green robe, right? So just take note of that. I'm gonna dodge around, try and get hits in on the body if you can, but like this would be a great opportunity to go ahead and use immobilization. Keep going for the head strikes if you can. As soon as it lunges towards you, you're gonna need to kind of mash dodge. The strikes can not only inflict Thunder Bane, but also they can just shock you. And that's a scrape attack there. The tail swipe's pretty nasty. Remember, you don't want to get hit too often with these electric-based strikes because you're going to get Thunder Bane, and that's not a good thing. It hurts really bad. When it spins around really quickly, avoid it, because obviously it's going to do that little sequence there, and then it's going to try and do a follow-up grab attack, so just be very careful. Again, not an easy fight by any means. Wait for the head to be low. There you go. Keep dodging forward. See if we can get in a nice hit here. That does stun her usually. and then you can go in and do some more damage. This is where you're going to get the most damage possible, so just keep pressing. Use your cloud step if you need to create some distance. Now whenever she enters the next phase, this is your job to go ahead and remove your lock on. If she stays up there for too long, you're fine, just keep dodging. Dodge through this. We're going to heal. And then when she stays up and starts summoning these things, we want to actually start removing the lock on and then avoiding the lightning bolts. So she's at phase 2, right about 50%, so we're just going to keep sprinting away, avoiding all this as best we can. Remember, we have some mana left over, so we want to use it and save it for our transformation. If we're in a sticky spot, we can go ahead and use our transformation now. The transformation itself is actually pretty solid and can often stun her, so... And I am saying her because it's a girl, it's a queen, the Yaguai queen. We'll be fighting her again. This is not the end of this fight. Tail swipe usually. Watch for the grab too. Honestly, in your Azure Dust transformation form though, you can't. You're pretty much immune to just about everything she can dish at you. We want to keep hitting her with this as much as possible. Every third strike will actually stagger her, so it's awesome. This is actually going to bring her all the way down. So I love that. We can do a light attack combo here. Some big damage for us. Could freeze her. Get some more damage here. There you go. There you go. Big strike. And then we go for the light attack combo when she's dead. That's Kong Jing Long. Let's watch this cutscene really quickly and we'll be taken to the pagoda realm. Involuntarily, and I will continuously say that because the Macaque Chief makes another cameo appearance. So yes, we fell through the ice, but we surfaced for a bit.
You have chosen your way. This time, there will be no easy way out.
So yeah, that just happened. So we awaken in the pagoda realm in a cell. But don't you worry, the Destined One doesn't like to be in closed spaces for too long, so we're busting right out of this thing in no time at all. The pagoda realm is probably one of the most labyrinthian areas in the entire game. I'll show you exactly how to get everything though, but there will be a little bit of backtracking in this section as well. So first things first, no, there's nothing you can get in this cell. But we did get the Starlit Cloud Bidden Antler. That's just the horn for the boss that we just defeated. So that's going to allow us to craft a different variant of the boss weapon. You can see here. So obviously we're using the Rat Sage Staff now. This one deals 70 damage and has a little bit less crit damage, but Punishing Downpour executes thunder damage to the enemy instead of area damage. So that's a weapon. An ability from the weapon stance called the Pillar Stance, and so that ability allows you to then execute or deal thunder damage. So if you have sufficient will, you can actually craft that. So not a bad thing, and not bad to use early on. It's got some thunder damage is excellent. So anyways, just wanted to show you guys that. Aside from that, we've that's just the actual material itself. And then we picked up some seeds and new pairs and stuff, so we're good to go. So anyways, just bust out of here. There's going to be an NPC whining and complaining. We're going to have to chat with him because it's actually going to be incredibly important. And he gives us, the Destined One, one of, in my personal opinion, my favorite weapon until the very, very end, where you can obtain a secret upgraded variant of this weapon. So I absolutely loved this weapon, and I was just so shocked that it had its own unique moveset, and it really synergized with a certain stance that we already have unlocked. So we'll be talking about it in due time. But before we do anything else, is that little wisp right there? That's going to be one thing that we have to backtrack for. So just make sure that on this first level, you're doing your best to conserve your health. There's also going to be instances where you see those lanterns. There will be lantern-based enemies, and there is a finite amount of them. There are 9 total in this entire pagoda realm, and you must defeat all of them in order to get a unique drop. If you defeat a certain captain at the very top of the pagoda realm, those enemies will disappear and you will miss out on the opportunity to get that drop. So do not defeat the boss until you have defeated all 9 of these enemies, okay? So I'll make sure that's very clear. This purple seal means that this door is locked, so we can't do anything about it.
Monkey stench. Stay where you are, newcomer. Wanderers in this place meet their demise.
Once we're able to communicate with him, we will. And he just kind of complains a bit. There you go. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is the lantern enemies will also have a unique effect where as long as they're present, they will continuously decrease your health. So your health bar will go from about whatever full percentage to about 50%. And that also inflicts the same effect to the enemy, so that's good. But at the same time, you can die in about 1 hit, so be careful.
Be warned. One does not simply leave the cage that Yellowbrow toiled to build. And for those who tried, some went mad, and the rest dead. Welcome to the Buddha's realm. Here is where one's mind ebbs away.
As per usual, we want to exhaust the dialogue. This guy he's losing his mind. It happens.
That includes yours too.
And naturally, they always jab at us.
Just abandon your senses and wait for your end. Like me.
Okay.
Go back now. Don't close your ears to my words. Can't be advised. You are just like him.
Any other words of encouragement, crazy man?
Here is where that includes you.
Alright, cool. So now that he's done, just so that you know, these purple sealed doors will be unlocked when we defeat a secret boss in this area, and I'll show you exactly how to do that pretty quickly on. So we gotta watch for these little fellows. These guys are gonna be pretty annoying, as I said, and you can fall off certain areas of the map and others you cannot. So just stay away from the edge and do battle away from it if possible, okay? There's gonna be lots of ambushes with these plant enemies as well, so just prepare for the worst. Enter the cell, go ahead and absorb the will, farm that little mushroom, and then be prepared, because a lot of times this is where we first get introduced to the to the lantern enemies. There's 2 right in front of us, so we're gonna go ahead and take these guys out first because they're a little bit of a nuisance. Okay, now that they're gone and their health's been reduced, we can go ahead and demobilize this one, and as soon as I can, I'm gonna use Cloud Step. There you go. Completely nullifies your senses. He can grab you and throw you off the entire map, so just be careful, just like so. And I'm actually going to leave that so you guys can see it. When you get hit, you can actually fall off of the cliff. If you are walking towards the end, though, you typically don't get hurt. So anyways, no big deal. These guys have triggered their little spell again, so we take out the bat enemy that's going to ambush us. There you go. Remember, everybody has less health now, which it's not a bad thing. There you go. Deal as much damage as we can, as quickly as we can. There you go, that's 1 down. And just keep track of how many you have defeated. We're going to do as much backtrack as we need to just explore every single cell. So just for now, focus on dealing damage. Alright, so once these 2 are down, that should be it for this floor. Again, these are incredibly crazy looking enemies. They're like the Winter Lanterns in Bloodborne, so they're disgusting. Anyway, so let's go back and make sure we didn't miss anything. So this is where we got ambushed. This is where we grabbed the snakehead mushroom and absorb the will. So now we can safely explore. Always take those guys out first and then do backtracking. It's okay if you die here. You will probably die here. Again, not easy to avoid all the hazards and keep your footing, so. And don't just heal and panic whenever your health bar starts decreasing. Wait until, hopefully everything dissipates. This is one of those purple doors we'll be opening or accessing here soon. So instead we can move on to the very first save point. And remember, just by saving or resting, that does not give you like a safe haven from that reduced health effect, okay? So we've taken out 2 already on the first floor. There's about 2 on each floor. But there's one area that has 3, so. Alright, so now we've rested up. If we want, we can make more medicines too while we're at it. Alright, where's my tiger stuff? Yes. Snakehead mushrooms, definitely the way to go. I love using these. These are fun. They do deal quite a bit more damage. I like that. Alright, so now we can head up this way. Just so that you know, there is no forward progression from here. You have to go up inside the cell and around, okay? And then there's going to be this enemy here. And then you start getting peppered with all kinds of other enemies. It's pretty annoying. So here we're going to have a bat enemy, and then we're going to have an archer even further along the way. So I used to use Cloud Step just to get through and defeat this guy quickly. And then the bat enemy typically drops down, but he's just taking his time. Why are you taking your time, sir? See if we can hit him with our thrust stance. Okay, maybe not. Why is he being silly? That's so funny. I don't know why he's doing that. But anyways, if he's not going to aggro, I'm okay with that. Watch him aggro now. Nope, he's just going to stay asleep. That's fine. Sweet dreams. Alright, so now you can head out this way. You can always explore it, whether it be like in or out of the cells, but you're going to have to do both if you want to get everything. So what we're going to do is come up here, do a jumping attack. That's okay. Do another jumping attack here, and now we're up on the same level as the archer. Alright, we've taken out the archer. Don't go crazy with your attack, just so you know we're on the other side of where we were just at, so not a big deal here. So now you can actually go down safely. We're going to take out the rest of these enemies. The sword-wielding enemy is actually pretty dangerous if you let him get his like rage on, so don't let him do that. We're going to get stunned by that effect again, no worries. Okay. Now we can dodge away, top off, and then we can replenish our gourd with this once we go in and defeat this bat enemy. Of course he aggroed, you know, like 5 minutes late. Alright, everybody happy now? So again, this is the area we were just at, and I was saying, hey, he's not aggroing. Well, of course he aggroed a little bit later, so. Now we can top off our gourd uses with this, and then we can go look for those enemies. The lantern enemies. There's one right there. So remember, we just need to explore the rest of this area, and we will, but we need a little point of reference first. Let's destroy this guy so he's not a problem, and then we can go ahead and use our immobilization spell and go crazy on this guy here. If you don't hit them fast enough, they will teleport away. He was going to begin that sequence right now. If possible, we'd like to get more damage in. So there's a bat enemy close by. Just be careful. Again, these guys can be quite annoying. Falling attack here is not bad. No. Okay, so when he teleports away, just keep running. As soon as you see him appear, just dodge away. He will rage out. So there he actually went away altogether. So when they rage out like that, they typically stumble, and then you have a chance to strike them again, but he didn't let us do it. So remember, you do need to take out all of those enemies so you can gain all of the secrets. But just to kind of backtrack where we were at, we were over here, and we can continue exploring inside the cells first. Kind of a better way to go about it, that way you ensure you don't miss anything. There's a new enemy type. It's gonna be pretty annoying. He's got these sickles, and he's not bad with them at all. When he dies, he will also swing around and flail like crazy. So just avoid that. And anytime you go inside of a cell and you have a choice to pick, you know, whatever pathway, just always make sure you look around. But anyways, at this point in time, we don't have much to do. You can actually grab this or absorb this will from this side if you want. It's kind of funny. You can do that in a lot of sequences. Saves you a few steps, but not really. Anyway, so now again, we're just outside the same path. We're facing off with the lantern enemies. The lantern enemies will randomly appear. So remember that on this floor here, we still have some friends to beat up. So that's where the whale would have been. We could absorb. There's a bat enemy as well. Back away so he doesn't attack you while he's flailing, and then you're good. So you would have been able to absorb the whale there. And then we can continue on. And now you'll see that this path still opens up. We've got a few more steps we can take here. And then now we've kind of come full circle, right? So this is still the outside, right? So all good. Now what we do is we're going to continue this way. And again, at any point in time, the lantern enemies can appear. We're going to make this left in here, and then we're going to backtrack. So we're going to go inside the cells. And explore what's in these like inner parts here. This guy can be a bit of a nuisance, like I said earlier. Just make sure you take him. There's an enemy behind us, but if we are fast enough, we can make quick work of this guy. Focus point attack to get rid of the enemy with the weapon, and then the zombie, just avoid the flails. And we should be okay. Alright, there you go. Now we can loot the coffin. But yeah, it gets messy. It gets real messy. Alright, so there you go. We've got more cold iron leaves. These are crafting materials yet again. Trust me, you're going to need them though, especially if you want all the armors. So we're going to bypass these stairs for now. So it looks like the lantern enemy's coming back. We're getting that strange disturbance in the force. And the scariest part is whenever they summon themselves and they come out from these cells. Like, I love that. It's just, you see that over there? There he is. So we're going to go say hi to him. Remember, he can knock you off this pathway really easy, and he can grab you and do everything that you don't want to have happen. He's a real fun guy. Not literally. I think he's a fungus. There you go, he's stunned, and then one more hit should do the trick. There you go. Alright, that's 2 down on this floor. These guys are so annoying. But anyways, there you go. Not bad. The effect they have is just devastating. But we can go inside here, just kind of piece the world together for you guys. There's this little idiot who's got tons of health, but he's not hard with whenever he's had his health reduced by the lantern enemy, so it's not a bad thing to take him on now. And then you have this guy over here, our little zombie friends. And then we do have a chest to loot, and we'll do that in just a moment. And we take him out with a jumping attack. So be careful, because if you're hit, you can get knocked off. But normally you can't just walk off and fall off, so that's a good thing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open up this chest here. We get the fine china tea bowl. This is actually one of my favorite curios. You can use it to moderately increase your stamina recovery rate. So if you're going like a low stamina and you didn't necessarily have this, for example, the tiger tally, and you had low stamina, well, the next best thing is stamina recovery rate. So you can always spec into that as well. Now what we can do is we can go up the stairs, and we're going to need to avoid an archer trying to pelt us with arrows and make us a pincushion. So there you go. You can see him now. Very good. He's been taken out. We'll take out this zombie as well. He will sneak up on you if you don't. Alright, now we've arrived at floor 2. We'll go ahead and gather this really quickly. We can top off our health for now because we don't have anybody messing with us. And I don't like having medicaments just randomly equipped unless I've equipped them, so I'm going to remove that for now. I'm a bit of a stickler when it comes to my inventory. Alright, so first things first. We can go this way, and we're going to need to, so we can backtrack. So just remember where we're at, right? We just ran up the stairs, we just arrived at the second floor, and instead of going right, we're gonna go left. Now left seems like a dead end, but I assure you, it is not. So first things first, take out the enemies. There's gonna be lots of ambush opportunities here, so just be very careful. It's super annoying, but it's something that you're gonna have to, you know, kind of get used to. Alright, so now we're at floor 2. There's going to be an enemy tucked into the left, but we're going to go ahead and attack this guy first. That's alright. There you go, light attack combo does the trick. And then we can take out his little zombie friend. Now heal up all the way here, like make sure you're topped off. It's so easy to mess this up, so just drop down. I almost messed it up already. So drop down, and then there's no like safer way to like continuously just continue dropping down. So instead all you're going to do is just go this way and drop down. You'll take a little bit of damage, but not too much. Take out the archer, and then there's going to be an enemy behind you as well. We're going to want to circle around here in just a moment though. We'll have to backtrack to this point, just so you know, and it's really annoying, but we're going to have to do this again. And this is again part of the backtracking that you see in Chapter 3. So this is a sealed door with a coffin in it. But the reason why you want to come here now is because if not, you'll forget. Honestly, you just will. But you'll forget the will that you could have obtained in the very first area. So right here, you're going to be like, what are you talking about? Well, when you grab this will, you're going to realize when you drop down exactly where we're at. So we are located right in front of our cell and right by the really sad, depressed NPC. So there you have it. We got that will from the beginning. So we'll have to backtrack for that chest or that coffin a little bit later, okay? Alright, he's taken out. So what we can do is we can actually take this opportunity to rest. Oh, gosh, okay. Away with you, sir. And they're on the next floor. They typically stay on their floors. They don't hop around too much, so just be mindful of that. What I'm trying to do is just rest so I can get my mana back. That's really all that matters at this point. Our health is going to be fluctuating all throughout, so it's kind of annoying. But if they want to trigger it, they're going to trigger it. So just run in here, and then we're going to go up the stairs this time. As soon as we get to them, it's going to be a little bit, though. There's our little cloud step here. But yeah, this is just kind of the nature of the beast. Chapter 3 has numerous sequences where you're just having to backtrack. So cloud step is invaluable in this chapter, actually. But just so you know, if you ever get lost, like follow the lanterns. They typically lead to the main path. So we'll be coming up the stairs now, and then we'll be right back with the archer who's trying to pelt us. 1, 2, 3. And he might get another shot off here. Yeah, he actually connected that time. But we'll kill him just to make sure he knows that's not okay. Alright. Alright. Now, if you notice, we were kind of right back where we started. We're going to go ahead and heal. To the left was where we circled back around. We're going to be going this way. Backtracking towards the right now. And we're going to be exploring one cell at a time. So here we can go ahead and top off our gourd. Watch for ambushes. There's plenty. Alright. You can go inside this cell too. Every single opportunity you have to go inside of a cell, do it, because you'll be clearing out enemies, or they can ambush you from afar later, or you can just be getting some secret items that you would have missed. So really easy to miss items. So inside there, there's going to be an absorbable enemy. Some of them are sealed off, and we'll actually be circling back to them as well. So again, just more of the same. Ooh, I thought I dodged that. That's not fun. Light attack combo will do the trick though. We'll go ahead and heal just to top off that little health. But we'll come back for you later. That's an enslaved Yaksha. And then this pathway is actually pretty annoying. If you don't have Cloud Step equipped, I would strongly suggest that you do, because anytime you're crossing any one of these wooden beams, there's going to be enemies trying to snipe you. So activate Cloud Step and then sprint across the beam. To the right of us is going to be a secret boss we'll be facing off with in due time, but for now, just focus on the one thing: defeat the archer, and then take out this enemy here. Light attack combo will do the trick. And then we can top off our gourd yet again. Just keep cycling through. Now, there will be instances where we're going to be dropping down. This is not one of them. Only few of the areas can be safely dropped down from. Okay, so don't ever just risk it unless you know for a fact, or unless you've explored everything and you don't mind dying. But I'm going to show you how to get everything anyway, so I advise you don't do that. I'm going to go ahead and do this. These guys are pretty tough. Just you want to kill them quickly. If they start swinging around, it's pretty annoying. Not only that, but we have some more friends that are going to join the party pretty soon. So here, just so you know, it's just more cell. We got a zombie trying to ambush us. A bat trying to ambush us as well. Again, they just start kind of pouring in on you here. This is one of the enslaved Yaksha enemies. They're really beefy, but not particularly difficult to defeat. Don't waste mana on them. Instead, just use focus points on them to deal considerable damage. Just keep dodging when they do that. They have some pretty good tracking when they're doing that. He's actually hurt too now, so pretty much 1 or 2 hits and he's dead. So they're just really tanky. But aside from that, they're not particularly powerful. Every time you reach a new floor, typically the lantern enemies will start ambushing you. And they'll start reducing your health and just cursing you. It's fine. Don't mind it. We're going to pass this ramp. This is actually a way to the next floor. Back away when he's dying so you don't get hit. And then just stay aware. All kinds of threats up ahead. This right here is actually a pretty powerful variant of the enemy. I don't like this version. Oh no, it's up ahead. My apologies. My apologies. Let's go through here. And then we can grab this double will. Actually, as a matter of fact, we're going to wait and we're going to go on the outside, just because if that effect can dissipate, I'd be quite happy. Freeze him, because if he aggroes, he will enact a crazy combo that is very difficult to dodge. So now that we're here, you know what, I don't want to confuse anything, so let's just go ahead and grab that. We're going to come back this way in just a moment, but we need to circle back for it. There you go. Of course the timing was just so that I grabbed it whenever I could absorb the will. That's fine though. Alright, anyways, we're going to come here real quick. This is where things can get a little crazy. These are some of the strongest enemies in this entire chapter, so just be very mindful of that. Use everything you need to take them out. I'm going to do a jumping attack for this guy. I missed. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Don't do this to me, sir. Can use our transformation. I don't feel like dying here. And I'm not going to do the 3-hit combo. He keeps flipping around like a crazy guy. Sir? I need you to cooperate with me. But yeah, these guys are pretty powerful, if you can tell how much health he has. And his combos are very difficult to read, actually, believe it or not. Not easy to read, this one. But yeah, pretty difficult enemy. We can go ahead and top off our health now, just in case. And then we can open up this chest. But yeah, those are red-haired Yaksha. They are tanky, and their moveset is hard to read. They can use kicks, sword slashes, all kinds of stuff. So now that we're here, we can go back And this is where we absorb the 2 wills here, and then we're going to circle back this way. I changed it up because I was trying to make use of the absorbing the wills and topping off our health, but it didn't work out as I planned. Anyway, so from here we can drop down, and this is going to be another time we're going to have to circle around, unfortunately. This is the another will we can absorb. It's going to grant us an extra gourd usage. And just so you know, you could drop down in either way, honestly. You're going to drop down this side so you can circle back around the path, but this is just going to be kind of leading to that beginning area again. So this is the same floor, chapter 1 floor that we've seen a million times, okay? So I want to show you guys. So right here, we drop down, and then, oh my gosh, we're right back where we started, right? The noisy guy. So, as you can tell, there's tons of backtracking, and we still have to do another little loop of backtracking to get that coffin once the seals are broken, okay? So, not a lot of fun, but, you know, to get the wills, really the only thing you'll miss if you kind of just ran through this area and explored the cells that you could explore, minus the ones with the purple seal, because you do need to get those. You would just be missing out on some will, like 2 wills in particular, and then 1 coffin, which has crafting materials. So it's not the end of the world, but it's still pretty annoying in my opinion. Alright, so we're going to rest at the shrine yet again, and then we're going to head up to the that second floor and approach the final floor there. Still got me right in the back. That's no fun after all that. After all my dodging. We'll be taking out those lantern enemies before long, so don't worry about them. Remember, if you get lost, follow the lanterns. But this area, like I said, is incredibly tricky, especially if you want to get everything. It's really easy to miss an item. Or to get lost, honestly. In my opinion, it's pretty easy to get lost in this area. He didn't charge his shot that time. That's what throws me off every time. He can charge his shot or he can choose not to. So this is the pathway that we kind of forked off multiple times already. To the left was where we went ahead and dropped down for that will, and now we're going to go this way again. Just avoid any ambushes. We got one coming up ahead. We got our little bat friends at some point as well. Now that we've survived that little curse, we can top off our health. Watch out for the bat. There we go. Cloud step, and then we're going to sprint across again. The archer should be gone after the first time, but I always like the cloud step anyways. There's a boss to the right of us in that gate, and we're going to be taking him out before long. So, anyways, now that we've taken care of these enemies, we can go back the way we came, and there's going to be that ramp. This time we are going to take it up. This enemy flails, so just be careful. Remember, we got a zombie behind us, and then a bat as well. Really, little guy? Lovely. They can be a nuisance if you don't take them out, though. I don't blame them. They're just doing their job. Alright, so we take out the zombie. Take out this dummy as well. Watch the flails. And then we can go up this ramp. Now this will take us to the next floor, naturally. And then we're going to reach a shrine here before long. As you can tell by the essence that's guiding us to safety. That is, of course, if you survive. We'll take this guy with our transformations. These guys are always difficult in my opinion, especially at this level. Later on, of course, you can mow through them, but until then, use your transformations. And don't shirk your duties. Master your dodges, all those things. There you go. Now he's been taken out. We get a mind core from him. You can get some pretty decent materials from those guys. They have pretty significant drops, so. There's an enemy here, just so you know, they will sneak up on you if you pass them and progress too far ahead. You got to give them some love too. They get jealous. Take out that enemy. And then we're fast approaching the, I heard a zombie-esque noise. That was kind of funny. Anyways, I heard that and I was like, what could that be? But anyways, we're approaching the shrine. This is the Upper Pagoda Shrine. This is going to be an excellent resting spot and also a spot for us to go ahead and farm the rest of these enemies. So let's try and take out this lantern dude right here if we can. Remember, we're going to be ambushed to the left. Don't worry about that for now. That's one more down. Now, you can always run ahead to see if there's going to be another one that's triggered, but just know that we're going to be warping back, okay? Like, don't go too far ahead and get too, like, bloodthirsty. So, yeah. For now, they're actually above us and far, far up ahead. So, if they're not, I guess, spawning in your close vicinity, don't worry about them. So, what we're going to do is we're going to fight a secret boss, and this is going to open up those purple sealed doors. This will allow us to go backtrack once again. Because trust me, we love this stuff. We love backtracking, don't we? Okay. So anyways, it's canceled out the effect for now. From the Pagoda Shrine, if you just drop down here, you can actually safely drop down without taking any damage. Without the effect, you could normally see a purple glow here, and you might be interested to come down and see it. This is a boss known as the captain, one of 4 captains. So we'll be taking him out. He uses primarily projectile-based attacks. So just make sure that you focus on your dodging and, of course, your deflection if you're any good at it. But aside from that, we're going to go ahead and top off our health, and then I'm going to show you guys how to beat him. We'll go ahead and start off with an immobilization. Again, he doesn't have tons of damage or health, but he deals tons of damage, I should say. It's usually based on like little timing-based sequences where he's using these little things, so just dodge as best you can. If you can't dodge or you're having trouble, then, you know, try to deflect. But there he uses 3 sequences there. Big damage. We're going to go ahead and heal. At this point, he's going to enter phase 2, so just keep dodging, and then you can. There's a little cheese spot you can actually find safely over here by these stairs. He can't hit you from this area, so you can top off your health and you're safe. So just stay back over here. You can even trigger your Wind Tamer just for the purpose of getting the increased defense. Stay this way, you're safe up here. Once these lasers are done, then you can go and rush him. He's going to have an introductory kind of attack here that's going to try and get you. So first thing you want to do is look for these right here. It's usually a series of 3, and he typically does a laser shot too. I guess he didn't want to do it today. The lasers when they kind of form a circle. There you go. Just keep dodging. Dodge, dodge. Once they come down, that's when you need to initiate that dodge. There you go. Big damage there. I'm going to go ahead and heal. Now as he starts teleporting quickly, he's going to initiate the laser attack. So every time he teleports, laser. Teleport, laser. Teleport, laser. And then it's this long-standing laser you can just continuously dodge. So again, he's pretty annoying, like I said. So he doesn't have tons of health, so it's doable. gonna use our transformation. He's gonna use this one attack where he puts lasers everywhere, and they're randomly placed, so you cannot really use that safe spot or that cheese spot I showed you earlier. Instead, once we get hit with the lasers, we're gonna build up our Skull Crusher attack, and then we can go ahead and execute that. This will kind of push him off, and hopefully cancel that attack out for us. Okay, now that he's hurt, we can heal again. Dodge these lasers here. 1, 2. He's just kind of raining them down on us. Usually in sequences of 3, so just be careful. Light attack combo. Laser. 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 Big laser, right? Like we talked about. We can go ahead and use our Cloud Step and finish him off. And that's Captain Lotus Vision. Again, a pretty interesting enemy and a difficult one if you don't know how to face off with him. So we get the Frost Sprout Twig. That's a unique curio. I'm going to show you guys what that does. So this is going to moderately increase your chill resistance. It's not bad to have early on because, like I said, this is going to at least allow us to continuously have that resistance against a threat that you're going to be experiencing by many, many enemies after we get out of the Pagoda realm. So not a bad one to consider equipping. And you might notice right now everything's kind of muted, but this is actually like a golden or yellow wisp. When you take it, you're actually not able to absorb it and use it like a spirit skill like you normally would, because this is a gold class one. This is a very unique and special one. So instead it becomes a key item. This is the spirit of Captain Lotus Vision. Captain Lotus Vision was the one that was kind of holding the those seals on the some of the cells. So what we're going to do is drop down, and we'll actually be circling back around to this area that we've already been to a million times before. So you can go here, for example, or you can just warp right back to the shrine. So that we've crossed this beam multiple times already, but I just wanted to show you how it kind of came together. So we come out on a secret ledge that would then take us to the wooden beam, but we can warp back to this area first, and then we're going to go to the lower pagoda, and that's going to help us trigger some dialogue that we wouldn't get if we just skipped it. So we're going to go to the New West, go to the Pagoda Realm, head to the lower pagoda where the NPC is. And so far, we're doing all right. We've got all kinds of purple doors around us, and sealed doors. So first things first, we've got to backtrack just a bit. We're going to go all the way back to the NPC first, and then there's about another handful or another round of doors that will be opening up. And remember, by returning early, you're going to get a new transformation that you wouldn't have had until the very end of the chapter. So you definitely want to return back early. Our little bat friends, I'm telling you, these guys are so annoying. Definitely want to take them out. So this is cell number 2. This is where the NPC is. So let's go ahead and break open the cell, and we can pick up this sword here, and we're going to get a transformation. If you remember in chapter 2, there was talk of two-headed rat guy and a prince. Kind of seems a little like a coincidence, doesn't it?
When I chose to depart, another master plan of Mount Lingshan. Once a man, no Guai. Death was his relief.
He usually interrupts me when I'm trying to talk. So anyways, we grab the transformation. So just so you know, it's going to be a pretty unique transformation that allows you to turn into the two-headed rat guy, and they have, fire-based abilities. That's a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and talk to him and see what he says now that we've defeated one of his 4 captains.
Oh, it's you. You're still alive. And I see you've slain one of my captains and helped yourself to break in. 4 loyal captains. Now 4 bewildered souls. Can you free them from that pain if you truly are the destined one?
I think that's a challenge.
You posed as my Maitreya and tricked us here for a false feast. And I was foolish enough to fall for his trap. My men suffer because of me. 4 mighty captains, now mere pawns of Yellowbrow. I got rid of my eyes and ears to shield myself from these beguiling chants. A misstep of yours, Yellowbrow,
So he's, I mean, he's still kind of crazy, but
The true
he's hopeful now, and that's the key, right?
With that relic, Yellow Brown now harbors greater desires than ever. Your chance may arise as he grows obsessed with his own ego. A mist.
Alright, so now he's referring to the relic, of course, that is the relic of Sun Wukong, the Great Sage. So we're going to come this way. We've fortunately defeated this silly little bat already. And then we can go ahead and activate this right here. Can you mobilize this enemy just to go ahead and get some additional damage in? We've fought one such enemy before in Chapter 1. He hits really hard, so we don't like that. Now he's got decreased health, that's good. But so do we. Alright, he's been taken care of. Now we can open up this coffin. And like I said earlier, we're going to have to circle around and do a little loop here because we need to obtain all the secrets. Because we're going for this 100% run, so we have a little bit of a jog ahead of us. We're going to have to get up to the second floor. And that way we can unlock the sealed door. And then we'll warp back up to the third area, okay? So let's see if we can trigger this fool to attack me early. Okay, maybe not. He doesn't want to. That's fine. I want to take you out, though. Oh, he uses his little... he's got lightning and ice, actually, so he's no fun. Really, really tricky, that one. Can you not? Not today, please. Not today. Unless you must. Because if you must, then I'll oblige. There you go. Go to sleep. Alright, so those guys are sleeping. They're taking naps. We're going to go towards the second floor area. And again, we're going to be approaching all of these locked doors along the way. Once we get through the second floor, there's going to be that door we have to circle around to. And then we'll be up on the third floor. And it has its own series of gates that we need to bypass as well. So can't see anything this time. So he can do a fast shot or he can fire off a charge shot. So you never know which one you're going to get. We'll do our light attack combo to take care of this guy as well. There you go. Get away. And then we're going to circle around this for one last time to the left side, okay? I know it seems like crazy and whatever else, but this is really the most efficient way to do it. At this level anyways, because you can't necessarily go a full sequence without getting killed here. So you definitely need to do some backtracking at this early on. Alright, so we'll go here. We'll drop down again, then we got the little archer friend. Then we have the sickle man. And now this is open for us. We have a friend here. And these guys are no fun, you know that. You know this. These guys have tons of health for no reason. We're gonna use our transformations every time we have to deal with these guys. They're so powerful. They can completely melt your health bar, so... You go right ahead and hit me, sir. That's just gonna build up my skull crusher. There you go. Now Skull Crusher should almost do the trick. And now he's dead. We can go ahead and loot this coffin. Alright. Now we can go back up this way. On the second floor, we're going to have a few enemies that we're going to want to save. It's going to be the, not save, but we're going to save their spirits, I should say. We're something of collectors. So now we're going to make our way to floor 2. And then we're going to turn right over by that bat area. That bat that always ambushed us on the 2nd floor. So we're approaching the first pagoda again. Oh, I'm sorry, the first shrine of this lower pagoda realm. We'll go ahead and top off again. It's honestly not that big a deal. Those lantern guys are definitely a nuisance, but we'll be taking them out before long. Alright, so here we go, yet again. We gotta make it up to the 2nd floor, though. Right in the back. So once we make it to the 2nd floor, we'll be able to actually finish up unlocking the sealed doors on that floor, and then we'll be able to head then to floor 3. Floor 3 is the upper pagoda, and that's where we faced off with that one boss, the captain, I think Lotus Vision. Oh my goodness, we didn't get shot that time. He misses both times, that's insane. Okay. Zombie, and then we got this guy. Light attack to death. There you go. That's the stuff. Dodge away. Right. We got this clown as well. Now we can heal. And this right here is going to be the 2nd floor door. This is where we can absorb this enemy once we defeat him. Once and if we defeat him. Oh goodness. Gonna use our wandering white head smash. One more light attack combo should do the trick, and now he's dead. Whew, okay, now we can top off our health if we need to, absorb his spirit, and then we'll open the chest. Got the enslaved Yaksha this time. It's really easy to miss this chest because of all the commotion, but don't do that. Open it up, and then you can cross the wooden beam and get over to the floor 3, or you can just warp to it, and it doesn't really matter. So here we have the Mind Core, and we can take a look at the new Spirit Skill we just absorbed. Very good stuff. I'd like to show you guys the demo that you can see if it's something that you'd like to equip or not. Anyways, we've been here a million times already, so all we're going to do is warp to the upper pagoda shrine. And then we've got some cells to open that would previously have been locked off. So from here, we're going to actually teleport from the lower to the upper. And then we're going to be opening some cells that were previously sealed by that purple spell. Remember, the purple spell was tied to Captain Lotus Vision, so now that he's been defeated, there's nothing else preventing us from doing it. We should also be facing off with some lantern enemies, or at least have the opportunity to face off with them. We need to kill as many as possible here, all 9 in fact. There's a bat enemy up here, so dodge the initial swoop. Get in the light attack combo if you can. This guy just keeps peppering me with those little cheap shots. Alright. We're going to open up this cell, and then eventually we'll be crossing a wooden beam and making some more progress, but it's a step ahead. Got an ambush to deal with first. Oh gosh, okay, there you go. Once we make it to this side, you're going to activate your cloud step so we can safely navigate this area. So now is a good spot to do it. We're going to sprint past. There's an archer to our left, and then there's a bat enemy. So you don't want to engage because you'll just get knocked right off. So instead, once you've done this, you can move forward if you want to attack them. And I suggest you do because, again, they start getting more and more difficult to deal with. And I say more difficult to deal with because they're just hard to reach. And you don't want to backtrack for them. Right. There you go, that's one more down. Then we got his little friend over here. And this guy's raging out, that's cool. And again, you can do this at any point in time. You don't have to do it the way I did. But I honestly like to get rid of them because if not, you'll be chasing them down and having to respawn anyway, so all these enemies will be right back. So any chance you can face off with them, you want to take it. He's going to start praying here soon. Are we going to do anything? There you go. There's another 2 down. Alright, so now we head all the way back to where we started, which is just the this little realm over here. We had just crossed the beam. We had bypassed the archer and the bat enemy. So what we're going to do is turn left, and we're going to get our revenge on those very enemies. But first, we have another difficult fight. And this here is with a poisonous variant of the enemy that we just know and love. So usually what I do is I just use my cloud step, try and get away from all the poison, wait for her to get dizzy, and then we'll use our own transformation here, just because we're going to have to deal with multiple threats. This enemy will almost always come and interrupt the fight, so just take him out. Remember, the more they hit us, the better. That way we can deal our Skull Crusher attack, which is massive damage for us. Once I get free, I can actually initiate my Skull Crusher technique. So deal some massive damage, and then we can de-transform. Alright, now we're back in the game. Dodge away. We can initiate our Wind Tamer just to have some increased defense and interrupt. I usually like to chain that together with other skills, but we don't have any skills right now. Or any spells, so we need to be careful here. I want her over here, but she just loves to fight away from me for now. Not being very cool. We're just gonna go back here then. But I told you, she's a bit of a jerk. We'll heal again, because we're going to get all of our gourds back, so no worries. Alright, so now we have that. Instead, what we can do is circle around, take out this silly archer. Alright. And then, I just want to make sure you got our bearings. So we entered from here, and we turned left, okay? And that's where we faced off with the mushroom. I just don't want, it's really easy to get confused. I don't want you guys to be like, where the hell are we? Especially after a fight, it can be a little disorienting. So anyway, so we're going to use the that poison meds if we have one. Doesn't look like we do. No worries. We can wait out the poison, or it's a number of things you can do. But I'm going to go ahead and just use my gourd. I'm going to absorb this or replenish all of my gourd uses. And then we're going to keep going that way towards the cell and just kind of clearing out the rest of the enemies. But we have the Fungi Man spirit. This spirit is pretty interesting. The Fungi Woman's even worse. But this one likes to spin around a lot, and you can obviously knock out the foes. This increases the recovery speed of might by a pretty good percentage too, so it's not bad. Anyways, we have more friends as per usual. This is going to be a more difficult fight because we don't have any medicaments here. We're going to bring them our way. Oh my god, I'm stunned. That's no fun. There we go. Alright, so now that he's taken out, we can safely deal with the rest of these guys. Take out this silly archer. These are the guys that are getting those pop shots off. And if you didn't use your cloud step, they would have shot you and you would have fallen right off. Right to your death. So don't let that happen. You can absorb this will, and now we're going to be heading the other way. Okay, so at this point, if you feel like you need to rest and go to a shrine so you can replenish your mana for your spells, feel free to do so. Again, I strongly suggest that you do. Remember, we had just entered from here. We ran around and killed the pagoda or the lantern enemies. We're going to go on the inside first. And we're going to avoid this ramp here to the next floor. And all this just connects, so you're not missing out on anything. We have no mana, so now we have to tread pretty softly here. I thought I heard a zombie. Whenever you have this curse, you hear all kinds of noises. Alright. We can heal now that we have survived that little curse, and we're going to absorb this to top off our gourd again. And I'm going to head this way, all the way to the end of this path, and then remember, we do need to go up on that ramp at some point in time. But we're skipping it for now. We're going to open this cell. Defeat this enemy. You can absorb this will if you need to. Go ahead and top off. And we're going to keep exploring the outer rim of this area until we can't progress any further, and then we're going to go on the inside. Just absorbing the will along the way. Keep it easy. This is where you go into the cells. There's going to be another Yaksha enemy up here, so another tough fight up ahead. And just so you know, you'll be coming out from that side. So we got another fun fight ahead of us. There'll be two enemies in this cave, actually. See what I tell you? This kick attack's probably the worst. The feet of every enemy in this game have like the most damage possible. Stomps and things like that deal much more damage than you could imagine. We're gonna smash the Skull Crusher here and see if our detransformation finishes this guy off. Very good. Now we can heal. And then we're gonna open up this chest. And then once we've made it to the very end, which we already have, we're going to use our gourd. We can absorb this double will here, which will replenish 2 uses of our gourd. And then we're going to return to the ramp that we saw on floor 3. So this is, of course, floor 3. So in order for us to get to the ramp, we're going to go this way. But yeah, it's, like I said, this is certainly an area that I would say is more difficult than most. Not only to navigate, but because of the powerful enemies you're going to be facing off with. So kind of like a nice rule of thumb is in the event that you get lost or you're just like, where the heck do I need to go? Always follow the lanterns. You know, they typically are going to point you in the right direction. Or if not, they're good reference points at the least. But you can come through here now. And now we go up the ramp. So those little lanterns, or those ball lanterns on the outside, they're definitely really good points of reference for you. Alright, so this is another just amazing, fun, lovely sequence. We don't have Cloud Step, which is no fun at all. Oh gosh. More lantern enemies. But we just want to... This guy will activate, actually. He's going to get angry real fast. Real angry real fast. But with the decreased health, that'll be helpful. He has shockwaves though, they're no fun. You definitely want to keep him down if you can. Focus points are the way to go there. We got more Yaksha enemies as well this way. Again, this is a tougher area for sure. More sword enemies. When he does that little Kaioken transformation, he's going to be a lot more powerful. So just dodge laterally instead of back, and that'll help you kind of survive his onslaught. But we can open up this chest. Only a few more difficult bouts ahead. Not too many more. For the longest time, I thought this was a secret. Do not jump out here because you'll take some fall damage and die. So I always thought that was a secret way down to get one of the wisps we couldn't grab, but we actually have grabbed those that I initially thought were missing or unattainable. So trying to wait out the curse. Trying to wait it out so we can get full health here. But if not, it's fine. I'll just top off my health, grab the gourd, and then we're going to have to just go crazy on this dude. There you go. Of course he did it at right timing. Lovely. There you go. Now we go for broke here. Big transformation. We'll just use our little combo here. There you go. Knocked him off. We can de-transform. Take out this guy here that's gonna surely try and ambush us. And then we can continue along the way. Again, that's the hardest part of this, is just trying to survive those the Yaksha. The red hair Yaksha are just absolutely terrible. So now we can absorb this. Now we have one more beam sequence to survive without Cloud Step. You know, it's a little worrisome, but we should be fine. We'll just need to run up here. It's a much wider beam at least. There you go. Dodge. Now we're good to go. The worst has been has been passed already. The worst is behind us, as they say. So now we're safe. We can just run up here. Be careful. The enemy to the left is an actual living enemy, so he'll aggro immediately. So all you need to do is just avoid that. Light attack combo, and then just run away. Head over to this shrine. We're going to activate it. And then we've got one more little sequence to complete before we head off and fight this boss here. If you fight the boss inside that temple and you defeat it, the rest of the lantern enemies will disappear, so you will actually lose out on getting a guaranteed curio. It's not based off of drops, but just based off how many enemies you defeat. So don't do it. I tell you, don't do it. Alright, let's see how many skill points and things we have. It's time to kind of beef up a bit. In terms of survival, let's see. It's not a bad thing to look at increasing your defense or of course your mana, but this will take 2 sparks instead of just your single one. So you may or may not want to, you know, deal with that right now. When the martial arts stance, we're probably going to want to actually have the ability to move while doing our deflection. It's not bad at all to have. This just increases the distance of your light attack, which is pretty nice to have as well. And this just increases your focus as you continue, doing light attack combos and things of that nature. Okay, I really like that. So we can go here for now. In terms of our transformations, you can actually beef those up too. Alright, let's see. More damage is never bad. I think we're good to go for now. We can always focus on different things if you like to, you know, utilize different things like your mysticisms more, or your spells more, your transformations. It's really up to you, but for now, I'm going to go for the melee. We use the spells so that we can get in and do melee damage. So again, this is the boss. We're going to bypass him for now. We've already rested, so this enemy will respawn. We'll take him out, and then we have a unique enemy that is going to really showcase that frost damage to us. It reminds me of a Japanese Tengu, but in fact it's like a fan-wielding, like, you know, Yao Guai. Very similar design. So normally what I do is just go for the immobilization, go for as much damage as I can here, go for the focus point combo. Now that they're stunned, just do a light attack combo again. Watch for this. Every time they move, they're going to blow cold or blowing a chilling wind so they can kill you. So keep them stunned, stay on the offensive, stay aggressive, and you'll be able to make a quick work of them. We get a new portrait entry just for beating them. Alright, so this area is pretty interesting as well. Full of all kinds of, you know, backtracking and goodies and all that fun stuff. So now that we're down here, we're going to be circling around for the rest of these pagoda enemies. But first thing you want to do is actually head this way. And remember, our health is going to be steadily decreasing, not a big deal. This is a Yaksha enemy we want to take care of pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Deal tons of damage here. If we're smart, we can knock him off. So we're going to do this. And that should kill him. And we're going to go for this guy here. And remember, there's going to be a powerful enemy just off to the side here. Ideally, we don't fight them at the same time, but unfortunately, we don't have such a choice, such a luxury. But he does have reduced health, so if you happen to break the pot right next, you're going to get an awakened wine worm too, so that's fine. Now we're going for this guy. Watch for these attacks here. The grab is devastating. He's not even initiated just yet, so just be careful. And alright. Got him as well. So really tough encounters in my opinion, but what we want to do is, now that we've made it this far back, we're going to go backwards anyways and kind of traverse the rest of the level, so it's fine. But that jar had an awakened wine worm. Just so you know, this is the end of this particular area. Yes, you can drop down, but there's really no need to do that just yet. Instead, you'll be dropping down from the other side. So you're going to stay outside, you get the wine worm, and then we're going to start opening the cells heading backwards. So let's go ahead and heal. And now we got a spirit skill for that sword dude, the one that goes kind of Kaioken on us. So this is the final floor of the Pagoda realm, so the Blade Monk as they call him. We'll take a look at his spirit skill and showcase his little demo, but really he just does like really strong melee attacks. It's 3 hits total. It does a pretty good amount of damage too, and it does stagger most enemies, so not a bad one to have in your repertoire. Anyways, we're going to open up this cell. We've got another enslaved Yaksha here. Remember, these guys are kind of beefy. Don't waste spells on them or mana on them. Just instead focus on just dealing melee damage. They're not hard to fight. They're just take a while to kill. A little tedious, I guess. And you just dodge laterally after they do that little jab, and you're good to go. So just a matter of just spamming your light attack combos. So now we can go ahead and open up the coffin. And this coffin here is going to give us just a handful more materials. So then we're going to continue on this way. Remember, we bypassed a green will that we could absorb because we need to get the drop on the Yaksha. The red-haired Yaksha is an absolute menace, so you want to do everything you can to take them out quickly. But now that we're here, we have more enemies to deal with. Alright, we can avoid that. These guys are just no fun. We're going to do our dropping focus attack. That should kill them, especially with 3 focus points. They don't have a chance. We've got another one. We can start attacking from the back, which wouldn't be a problem, and then we can back away once he starts flailing. So again, it just always remembering the enemies you're facing off with, knowing the threats that you're dealing with, and then understanding how to best counter them. So let's open up this coffin as well. Remember, we have a total of 9 lantern enemies, and if you don't just magically get the curio, that means that you're missing one, or some. Let's take out this zombie here, because naturally, if you don't give him the love he wants, he's gonna come after you. So remember, this is kind of where we had initially dropped down. Just up ahead is where we faced off with the Yaksha, and then right up here is where we entered the cell with the green wisp. So now we're going to go back this way because we dropped down from up above just right here. This is up above is where we fought the what I call the Tengu. It's the fan wielding Yao Guai, and then we drop down here. So instead we're going to backtrack. And we're going to keep our ears and eyes open for the whatchamacallit enemies. The lantern enemies. Alright, so they're triggering us again. Let's just make sure that they're not on the far end here. They love to appear in that far end. But we'll continue on this way in hopes that we can that they appear close to us. A lot of times they love to sneak out of the cells. It's really creepy. So yeah, he didn't. This is the end of the path. We could drop down, but we want to take out that enemy if we can first. Where did you hide? Where'd you run off to? They love going to the very end, and you can't see them unless you kind of approach them and get close, so. If he continues playing this little hide-and-seek game, then unfortunately we'll have to move onward, but I just want you to know you'll need to destroy 9 of them in total to get the curio. But yeah, he likes to appear here. He's going to be on the same floor we dropped down, so. But if he's going to do that, that's not a problem. What we can do is, we actually have a little bit more exploring to do anyways. So if he doesn't appear there where that original one was, where you had to face off with the Blade Monk, that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. Go ahead and drop down at the end of this pathway here, and there should be another one that populates. This is another one of his locations he likes to spawn at. So drop down. There he is. I see him right there. We can absorb the will right here. But he's disappearing already, so that's no fun. But yeah, he likes to appear right here. So, anyways, so he didn't want to, what do we say, cooperate that time. But this will be the location that they spawn in. And depending on how many you defeated, you only have 1 to 2 more, so. And just so that you know, like the lanterns, like I mentioned earlier, it seems like when they're lit, that means that's the floor that the creatures are going to be on. That's something that I think I've noticed thus far, but what you could do is if for whatever reason you're having trouble getting them to spawn, you can actually repeat that same cycle. And I'll do it one time for the sake of the stream, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on so I can show you guys how to complete the rest of this chapter, okay? Alright, so as you guys just saw, we were able to get the unique curio after defeating that last one. He's a bit of a bastard. He's really shy, so you just gotta make sure you do that sequence a few times to trigger him. As soon as you feel the effects of the curse taking place, just drop down and you'll be able to face off with him. But this is the Auspicious Lantern, a unique curio that actually increases the effects of Cloud Step by enhancing the attack, but your health is massively reduced. So really interesting, but it's kind of like a glass cannon type thing. There's a lot of skills that kind of work towards building up your Cloud Step. But anyways, this next boss is pretty interesting. Really only has one soft spot during the fight, which is its hand, and then it ends up transferring to the ball on its head, like it's literally a ball. And it's like a four-legged creature, but only the head is weak once it's down, and then you can deal tons of damage to it, but all the while you're trying to stagger and knock it down by striking the hand. It's got tons of melee attacks you can typically dodge, a very powerful grab that will kill you in probably one hit, and then during the second phase it initiates this kind of AoE attack that you have to sprint around, remove your lock on, and dodge the explosive like electrical, thunderbolts that you're gonna have to, the like AoE strikes you have to avoid. You just kind of weave through those, and then as the music begins to climax and the floor starts to turn red, you're gonna jump up and do a heavy attack, so you can kind of get a double jump in, maximize your air time, and then stay safe. If not, if you don't want to do it that way, you can always just then switch to pillar stance and then hold on like this. You'll be fine either way. But because you don't want to be stationary necessarily, you want to be moving around as much as you can. And I think I just broke the game. That was an accident, but I actually broke the game. Whoops. This is the cutscene you should be seeing. Oh, there you go. We would have walked in like normal and then see this orb kind of fit inside of that four-legged shell. There you go. This is Captain Wiseboys. There you go. That was interesting. Don't do what I just did. That was scary. Make sure you switch to smash stance too if you did what I did. But pillar stance again is nice to avoid those AoE ground attacks, but only if you're able. So here our health is going to decrease if you're in any kind of range. Like you pretty much have to be across the map to not get hurt there. So instead what we're going to do is go for the hand. We still get a decent amount of damage, but not as much as we'd like. But you're going to get tons of damage whenever you actually knock this thing down. So just stay back as best you can. Keep your distance. Don't heal all the time, but certainly if you feel like you're just one shot away from dying, you'll want to heal. That's going to trigger the desired attack right here. That's going to actually have this enemy fall on its face. This is what we want to see. Big attacks, big damage, as much as we can anyways. This isn't a bad spot to use Pluck of Many either. You can actually use Pluck of Many there and maximize your damage output even further. Big stagger there, love that. So when it raises its foot here, we're actually initiating that phase that I was referring to. So we can heal. That way we're not in trouble, and then we can sprint around and dodge this. Keep an eye on the floor, of course. It's going to be what you need to avoid as best you can. As the floor starts turning red, that's when we're going to start looking at the boss for a sign. So here, jump. Okay, oh, I failed that, but right when it turns red, you want to jump and then initiate a double jump. I'm going to heal here to get some health back. It's okay though, you can't nail it perfect every time, but even with that reduced health, we still survived. I would have loved to showcase that jump for you appropriately though. When he jumps up in the air like that, he's going to initiate a grab as well, so just be careful. Here's the life reducing technique he loves to do so much. Health bar reduced significantly, but no worries. We've triggered that phase again, so we can go ahead and activate Pluck of Many and deal as much damage as possible. You can see the damage just kind of pouring in there. Big numbers. go. Use this as well for more stagger. And then just a light attack combo or even a focus combo and you should be good to go. He loves moving around a lot, trying to hide that foot, but he'll be fine. So that's Captain Wisevoi's first try. I would have loved to show you the proper timing, but I would say right before it gets the shade of red, go ahead and jump and then initiate the double jump as soon as you see it turn red. And that'll give you the extra height you need. But in guides, especially when you're doing them live like this, very seldom do you have the opportunity to just, you know, execute everything perfectly. So this is one of those instances where you definitely want to heed my words, but not always do exactly as I do. But what I'm saying is certainly sound advice. I don't have the luxury of editing it out and showing you guys the boss fight. So this is Captain number 2. We get all kinds of goodies from this one as well. We get the Mind Core, and we also get the Spirit that we can absorb, which is going to act as a second key item. Key item number 2 of 4. Also, at no point in time anymore will you be harassed by the lantern enemies from down below, because this enemy was the one that was controlling them. So now that they're gone, no longer an issue for you. So before you head to the shrine, you want to go left, and you can actually open up a coffin over here and loot its contents. We're just on the other side of that that beam that we crossed with the the fan-wielding enemy. So trying to put the world together for you guys. And then we're gonna go on the opposite side. We're gonna walk along a fallen tree, and we're gonna grab a double will. And then we can go ahead and tag the shrine. My cat's going crazy. I have 2 cats and they're nuts. After they eat, they just get like this crazy bloodlust where they just start like fighting each other and looking for more food and jumping up on things. I'm like, yeah, no. And most importantly, they try to interrupt my streams. But anyway, so we're gonna run over here. We're gonna tag this shrine, and we can go ahead and rest. If you haven't already, be sure to peruse the stores. New chapters always give you different things like that. But one thing we can do now before we end the stream is we can actually return. At any point in time you could have done this, but you can travel back to the Mirror Frozen Lake area, and I'm going to show you guys how to get that that secret in the boss arena. So remember, after we fought the White Dragon, I guess we fell into the frozen lake, actually. I was going to say we were pulled into the lake, but no, not quite. But then we appeared in the Pagoda Realm after the Macaque Chief stabbed us. So what we can do is use this as a point of reference. Okay, jump on the frozen lake here, and then just kind of hug the right. What we're going to do is we're going to be circling passing this little this formation right here, and then we're going to be heading right towards the this tree off in the distance. You probably can't see it very clearly yet, but I assure you it's there. So there's a small little island here, and that island has a chest on it. And again, this is one of many backtrackings that you have to do in this level. I didn't want to go and do it initially after we tagged that first shrine, because it can get cumbersome, and honestly sometimes you're like, do I really care about grabbing that little item? But if you're going for the 100% completion and you're a completionist like myself, then you certainly think it's worth it. But you want to do it in the most efficient way possible. You know, it can get a little annoying to continuously go back and forth, but fortunately I've kind of laid out one of the best pathways, in my opinion at least, to minimize the backtracking. It definitely helps anyways, and it helps to know where things are, and at the right times too. So we get the Stranded Long's Whisker. This is a soak that you wouldn't be able to obtain otherwise, and this helps increase the duration of your immobilization spell. So pretty cool. It is not a bad thing to have, in my opinion. We have plenty of seeds to give to our NPC, and we have 2 keys, so that means we have 2 bosses left to go. So we're going to go ahead and actually end the stream here. This episode will come to an end, and now that we've cleared out the Pagoda Realm, we'll be exploring the Snow-Veiled Pathway. This area also has tons of winding pathways, all kinds of secrets to explore, so hopefully you guys will join me to check it out. And that is all for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Lets me know you want more content just like this. Also, the guides will continue to come out one episode at least per day, so feel free to click on the video on screen to continue your journey, and I'll be there to guide you when you arrive. Just know that your viewership is always more than appreciated and always more than enough, but if you want to support me in a more personal way, you can check out my Ko-fi page here. And until next time, it's the Inhuman One, signing out.